All righty. Looks like we are live. Welcome, everybody, to Shape the Podcast. Um, I'm sure you're all familiar with what the show is. I am your new guest host, temporary host. Kyle is tending to call me his co host, but we'll see how that goes for the meantime. Kyle decided to take a little bit of a break from the stress and the work that goes into these podcasts. I guess I'm about to see what that's all about myself. But while Kyle's taking his break, I offered to step in and give him a hand and let the momentum of his show continue instead of stalling while he's taking a break. So here I am. Those of you that know me, I'm Original J from Lucky Boy Beard and Body Company. I've done a bunch of videos in the past with my partner, Robert. I'm sure some of you have seen some of those. So I'm not unfamiliar with how this stuff works. I have been on Kyle's show myself with my daughter in the past. So I'm not unfamiliar with Shape the Podcast either. So that being said, tonight we have a guest. His name is Shannon Clinkenbeard. He's from Texas. He runs the You Matter Beard and Mustache Competition. This year it is being held next weekend, Saturday the 18th in Schulenburg at Freiburg Hall. It's the You Matter 4 Beard and Mustache Competition. So I'm going to bring Shannon in, and we're going to get this show rolling.
What's up?
Hey, Butter, how are you?
I'm good. I was just fixing to paste the link on Facebook. People get their butts on here.
I put it to a couple of groups already, but we'll see how it goes. So, Shannon, welcome to the show. I think you've been on here before with Kyle, correct?
I have.
Gotcha. So this is my virginity tonight, but not yours. Okie dokie. So, for those of us who, not myself, but those of us out there in the audience that don't know who you are, why don't you give us a brief introduction of yourself and how you got involved in the beard community?
Shannon Clinkenbeard, live just south of LaGrange, Texas. Got in the beard community first comp, I guess you'd say. So Austin Facial Hair Club was doing a beard and mustache comp at the Harley Davidson dealership during the Republic of Texas bike rally. They I don't even know if they still have it anymore. But anyway, and that was in 2015, I think. And wife and I ride, and we was over there and popped in on that and then got to meet the Austin Facial Hair Club guys, and here we go. And first real comp, I guess, was the national championship in Nashville in 2016, and did not know a soul in the bearding world. I was nervous as can be, didn't know what I was doing, but we had a good time, and that kind of set the hook. And since then we've been all over the country. Went to Worlds in Belgium, went to Worlds in Germany. It's been quite a ride since then.
Yeah, I'm only about a year into the beard competition world myself. My first one was
my dog just went under the desk and unplugged the stinking light. Yeah, something happened. Technical difficulties on my end. There we go.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, it's freaking bright. Okay, sorry.
So my first one was the Appalachian Bearded Feud Chris Hall put on down in West Virginia last June. So
really?
I'm less than a year into the beard competition world myself. So I'm still learning the ropes. Your event next weekend will be my second will be my second event. I did not do one since. So yeah.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You haven't made Chris's yet. Would love to. Love Chris to death. He's a cool dude. Does a great job.
I got the event banner. If I can get this off, right over there over my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to raccoon that from Chris before we left. Well, why don't you tell us about your event?
So this will be our fourth one, hence the You Matter 4. This all really started just kind of as a joke. We was on a cast like this one night, and the question came up what it would take. You know, that everybody gives me a hard time. Where's your mustache? And there was just kind of a challenge came up. Said, you know, what would it take for you to shave your mustache off? Talking to a couple other gentlemen, and Jake Johnson and Monty Minner, and I think Jake popped off the number first, and he said, you know, and he threw a number out there that he never thought anybody would reach. You know, he's a safety number, if you will, of 20 grand. And Monty says, well, hell, make it 25 and I'll do it. And then it kind of took off from there and started getting a little bit of traction, and, you know, was like, what are we going to do to raise this money? We know we got some hats made up, we got some shirts made up, and started selling those, shipping them out, and this, that, and the other, and people started donating some money. You know, we were still nowhere near going to get there. And all right, let's do a competition. And we'd all decided that we wanted the proceeds, even before the comp was thought about, we wanted the proceeds to go to a mental health charity of some type. And so got the comp stages planning started, and had our first You Matter comp in January of 2022. We found a charity here locally. So we all of us reached out to multiple national mental health and suicide prevention type charities, and couldn't even get a call back. And I work with a gentleman that lost his 16-year-old daughter just a couple years prior to this. And I went to him, I said, you know, and we talked quite a bit and about that and stuff. And I said, who helped you? And he, without question, referred me to the Health and Behavioral Wellness Council of the Greater Colorado Valley, which is a rural area. So we're right smack. If you look at a map, we're right smack in the middle of Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. You know, and you can be in any of those towns in an hour and a half. But this centralized rural area, the lack of services for mental health activities and help was lacking greatly. And this wellness council, they've shortened it now down to the Wellness Council. So it actually was started by a retired therapist, Dr. Maisie Leftwich, and she'll be there, her and her husband Brent. They've been absolutely wonderful. Anyway, they retired from the greater Houston area, a suburb of Houston, and retired to this part of the country, and got to know the county judge in the next county over, actually, to the east of us, and the lack of mental health resources, mental health providers, and all that stuff. So they started this wellness council, and their first goal was, and they literally started it like a year before we approached them. So they were brand new too. And their first goal was to get a mental health trained sheriff's deputy for the county. So prior to that, the county, if there was a mental health crisis, somebody called or was called upon, a sheriff's deputy that was not trained in handling a mental health crisis was dispatched. And more times than not, it resulted in somebody going to jail. Depending on the scenario, it could be one or both of the parents going to jail and the children going to protective services or whatever the scenario might play out to be. With this mental health deputy, and by the way, they've got him in place now. And so what they did was they committed to the judge, said, look, if we will commit $300,000 payable over 3 years, that will pay for this deputy's everything for 3 years, for his car, his badge, his uniforms, his training, his salary, his benefits, all that for 3 years. And then you all put him in the budget beginning year 4. Would you agree to that? And they did. And so anyway, they made that commitment and they started the process. They started getting donations and doing fundraising campaigns and such. But anyway, and then we came in, we reached out to them, and they were just absolutely amazing folks and what they were doing. And they actually took the deputy that they found is made for this position. He is extremely passionate about it. But what he has done for the area since taking that role has been nothing short of phenomenal. The number of mental health related calls have greatly decreased. He's helped so many of them. I've got statements from him on some particular events that really stuck out to him. One of them was a veteran that hadn't been on his medication that he needed. He was having troubles, and whenever he makes the call or gets called out to a mental health scenario, then with his training, he's able to help them and not just detain them. Right. Like this gentleman in particular, he got him back onto his medications that were already prescribed to him. He just hadn't been taking them. And
common problem.
Helped him find a job. And what really impresses me about him is after he gets a call from somebody, say it's me or you or whatever, he makes rounds every month just to go by and say, hey, how you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you need? He goes to the schools, talks to the kids. He goes to different fairs and different community events around the area. But he's greatly single-handedly made an impact on that rural area. And it's been absolutely wonderful to see what he's done. But anyway, so that's the charity, and they'll be there, and then we'll let them talk and discuss what they do and what they're doing now. And
I got one question for you, not to interrupt, but on the name of the charity, because this threw me for a curve until I did my homework. It's called the Greater Colorado Valley.
Correct.
So what is the Colorado Valley? Because we're talking about Texas here.
Correct. It is because the Colorado River flows through this area. Yeah. We live just about, we probably live, well, as a crow flies, we live about 2 miles from the river, south of the river. And a little bit of history, about 2 miles, probably 3 miles away from our house is where the ferry was that they used to cross the river when they were retreating from the Alamo.
Interesting.
Yep. So not very
far. One of those rope pull barge type ferries. Yep.
Interesting. So that's not very far away from our house. So when they retreated from the Alamo, they came, if not across our property, real close to it. Excuse me. But no, interrupt me anytime because I'm just going to keep on rambling.
No, that was something that when I first planned on coming down to your event, I knew who the charity was, but I'm like, okay, so I know Colorado and Texas aren't too far away. And I had to do my math a little bit in my head to work my way through how that was considered a local charity. And that's for the benefit
you're not
now
the first.
Of everybody
You're
else.
not the first one to ask that question either. Whenever this first came
I'm
up,
sure.
Like, Colorado, aren't you in Texas? Yeah, we are, but it's because the Colorado River that flows right here through us. In fact, you're gonna you're going to cross it whenever you're coming from Austin a couple of times between Bastrop and LaGrange. So, yeah, and that's the charity that we got hooked up with, and it was just absolutely amazing. And still working with them, still very much involved with them. They're amazing people doing amazing things. But to back on the raising the funds to shave these mustaches off, the number was 25 grand. All right. Well, did some sales of some merch, got some donations, some little things like that, and obviously wasn't going to be enough, so we did the competition, and when it was all said and done, we handed them a check for $35,000.
Wow!
So those two gentlemen lost their mustaches. And, they did, but since then, we've had 3 more comps since then, but in total, with the 3 competitions that we've done so far to date, we've handed over $72,500 to them.
That is amazing. That is a lot of money. Yep.
It's been unreal.
So are you expecting, from what you've seen this year, to be bigger or about the same as what you've experienced in the past for attendance?
It's hard to gauge with these comps because you don't know until people show up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get. And I'm bad about that too. Whenever I'm planning on going to a comp, I usually don't advertise it or because you have on the event page, these people have clicked that they're going. These people have clicked
interested or going. Yeah.
So it's really hard to gauge, but I can't sit here and say it's going to be bigger or smaller. I do from the way things are starting to fall in place, it's going to be successful. Whether it's a smaller dollar amount than we raised last year or what, but it's shaping up to be a good one. The venue, we're at a new venue this year. We switched venues. Freiburg Hall is the second oldest dance hall in the state of Texas. It was built in 1912. And it's I'm thankful that we're going to have pleasant weather for it because it is a over 100-year-old dance hall. And so what I mean by that is you can see through the walls. It's plank board walls. It is no frills about it. It's a very, very cool historical place. But those folks, last year we had our pre-party there and got to know them a little bit, and they have been all about it. And we're like, this is where we need to have our comp at. And they were like, come on. And they've supported us wholeheartedly. I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome venue. I think it's going to be a hell of a time.
It's going to be a new part of the country for me. So I'm looking forward to it, not only from my second beard competition, but it's just a whole new part of the country. My wife and I have never been there before. So we're taking a couple of days beforehand just to spend some time in Austin and tool around a little bit and see what's what. I'm looking forward to it.
It's pretty country, and your time in Austin is going to be great. Austin is a great city to explore. It is going to be very different when you drive an hour and a half to the east.
I'm sure.
Whenever you get into this rural area down here,
I'm guessing it goes from city to rural really quick. As you get out of this. So I was in North Carolina last weekend, and I was in Charlotte, and it doesn't take 15 minutes to get outside of the city and to really get into the country there.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so you're going to fly into Austin Airport, and it's on the eastern side of Austin, and that's about the divider. To the left or to the west is Austin, and it's definitely city. And then you go to the east, and it's there's still some Bastrop is just to the east of Austin, and it is rapidly growing. But once you get past Bastrop, you're sure enough getting into the country, and it's going to be that scenario and that scenery from then on until you get down here to us. So we're just a little over an hour away from the airport.
Per our pre-show conversation, I just learned how to bring a comment up on screen.
There you go.
And Coffee with Brewer says, where am I coming from? I'm coming from Connecticut. So based on one of your posts in the event, I may be the furthest traveled guest so far, from what I've seen.
Let's see. So I know I have Minnesota coming, South Dakota, Florida, but you should still be. It would be hard to get much farther away than Connecticut.
Short of going up to the northeast into New England further, Minnesota would be straight north. I'm northeast. I'm going to check the mileage right now. Let's see, Austin, Texas.
You're probably going to win that on farthest travel.
What's the prize?
I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Let's see, 1,840 miles.
Yeah, that's a pretty good ways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely got Minnesota beat. Not by a lot, but by a couple hundred miles. Yep.
Oh,
1,840.
There's one coming from Hawaii or Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Who's that? Who's coming from Wyoming?
That might be a close one.
It says coffee with brewer, but coffee with brewer, who are you? Coming from Wyoming. Wyoming's a pretty fair piece away too, especially depending on what part of the state.
Yep.
He just says,
well, I'll buy somebody coffee if they beat me, but I think I might hold this title.
Mike Brewer. Okay. Yeah. So we know long distance travelers. We got Wyoming, South Dakota, Minnesota, Connecticut, and Florida so far. Mm-hmm. First comp, we had 17 states represented.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Folks really showed up.
That's a great turnout for a first event without people being aware of it yet.
It was amazing.
Yep. Really cool.
It should be substantially warmer here for you folks, except for the Florida folks.
Well, that doesn't bother me none. The weather's getting better and better every day I look at it for Schulenburg. It's 33 degrees right now, so I'm in a t-shirt. So I'm perfectly comfortable.
Yeah, no. T-shirts don't come out until the 70s.
I'd be in shorts right now if I didn't have to walk through puddles here and there.
Yeah, we would die in that northern weather, but y'all wouldn't make it long here in August either.
I can't imagine what it's like there in the summertime. Well, what else you got for us for the event? Or you got all the important stuff out?
So, a week from today, we're going to have a pre-party downtown LaGrange. There's Mr. Chris Hall. We was just talking about him.
Hey, Chris.
Jonathan Shields. So anyway, pre-party is going to be at a place called Max Dax Bar and Lounge in downtown LaGrange. They're literally a block off the square. It's a really funky, cool little place. They have all kinds of, they got a full service bar, and they obviously make different flavors and such of daiquiris and so forth, but they've got bourbons and beers and non-alcoholic drinks and stuff as well. But on that note, if there was Carol had commented asking about if they had unsweet tea, because she can't have any sugar and she doesn't drink alcohol, and they said that they do not, but they are perfectly fine with you bringing any other type of beverage, non-alcoholic beverage in its original container. You're more than welcome to bring in something that if you have a special need or a special beverage or something that you need to consume. Also, they do not have food there, but you're welcome to bring in any food that you want. So if you want to grab something before you come, bring it in. If you want to order a pizza whenever you get there and bring that in, she said whatever we want to do. But it looks like a really cool place. They're excited to have us. I think it's going to be a really good time. And then Saturday for the actual comp, the doors are going to open at 2. We will have, so we're going to be there much before that, because a friend of mine is going to be cooking a great big cast iron pot of gumbo.
I saw that picture.
We are going to start serving gumbo at 2:00, and we're going to serve it until it runs out. So if you get there late, you might not get some of that gumbo. But but it's going to be a 25-gallon cast iron pot rolling with gumbo. And so we're going to get there early that morning, get that started, and help him with that. Start serving the gumbo at 2:00, and doors open at 2:00. And excuse me. And that's going to be, it's not $5 a bowl or $10 a bowl. It's whatever you want to give. If you don't want to give anything, you're going to be welcome to a bowl of gumbo. If you want to give $20, you're going to be welcome to a bowl of gumbo. It's going to be by donation, free will donation only for that. The craft whisker battle will start at 3:00. And for those that don't know what that is, the first 8 competitors. So doors open at 2, and that means registration will start at 2. But the first 8 competitors that pay their $20 entry fee is $20 for competitors. Spectators are free. But the first 8 folks that sign up for the craft battle, that will start at 3 p.m. and will run for 45 minutes. And then the actual comp will start at 4. We will probably shut registration off about 3:30 so we can get all the books and everything organized before the comp starts, because we strive to be very punctual with it. And the winner of that craft battle is also going to get a custom belt buckle. All category winners are going to get a custom belt buckle, and they are going to be phenomenal. And I'll go live next week and expose. I would do it now tonight if I had them, but I don't. So anyway, comp starts at 4, and let's roll through the categories here. So doors open at 2, craft whisker battle at 3, comp at 4. Spectators free, comp, competitors $20. 1 category per competitor with the exception of the craft battle. If you enter the craft battle, you can also enter your respective category as well. Or if that's the only thing you do, that's fine too. But the categories and the order will be the craft whisker battle, obviously. Then we'll have kids category, which is going to be children 15 years of age and younger. And then we're going to go to freestyle. That's the only freestyle category. So if you have a freestyle beard of any scenario or just a mustache, or if you freestyle, you will be in that category. We'll have a general mustache category, and that is the only mustache category. And it can be natural. It can be any style. It can be styled itself. But any mustache that you would fall into other categories at bigger comps, that would be the one for you. We have the full beard styled stash. Excuse me. Goatee, whaler, chops. We have Whiskerina Creative, Whiskerina Realistic, full beard 0 to 4, full beard 4 to 8, 8 to 12, and full beard over 12. And then we will take our first place winners from each category, and that's who will be in for the best in show.
So Kyle and I are both commenting as Shape the Podcast, but Kyle posed the question, do you have a PayPal or any other form where somebody can make a donation if they're unable to make it to the event? Absolutely do.
And that is the Big Shave, M as in Mary, F5@gmail.com. And I can't see it on my end, but Jay, on your end, there might be a clicker on the side for you to add a banner.
Let me just make sure I got that correct. The Big Shave M5@gmail.com.
MF5.
MF5.
Yep. The Big Shave MF5@paypal.com. There it is right there.
Yep. Yeah, there may be a clicker, but I'm still learning this functionality. So I just typed it as a comment and threw the comment up on screen.
That's fine. That right there.
The Big Shave MF5@gmail.com. And that's the PayPal payment address.
That is the PayPal. Yep. That is the PayPal. And if you don't, so I am technologically challenged. And if you don't have PayPal or don't use PayPal, that's all I've got set up for the comp. If you have a Zelle or Venmo or any of those others, just message me, and the wife has that crap, and we can do it that way and then transfer it over.
Wonderful. Well, it
Yes.
sounds like it's going to be a good time. As I stated, I'm excited for it. And
I'm excited y'all are coming.
Yeah. Yep. It's a ways to
Start-
go, but it's going to be a good time.
Start practicing that before you get here, saying y'all.
Well, some of us northern rednecks aren't too far apart in some of our words. But I'll work on it. My wife just bought a brand new pair of cowboy boots just a week ago in North Carolina. So she's looking for a place to show them off.
Sweet. Well, she will fit right in.
Yep.
We're going to have we'll have a live auction. We always have a live auction. We've got some great items. I've got some posted on the event page already. I got some more I need to post as well. So those are coming in. We'll have obviously a raffle table. If you want to donate an auction item or a raffle item and not able to come, message me again and I'll get you my address. Or if you're coming and bring your raffle or auction item with you, then that's great too. We will have merch for sale. We've got hats, beanies, t-shirts, hoodies, all that. And, every bit of it, of course, obviously goes to the Wellness Council.
And if you're going to send something in and you're not able to attend for a raffle or an auction prize, they got to get that handled pretty quick, tomorrow or Monday, in order to get to you in time.
Pretty quick.
So yes, guys, if you have any interest in donating a prize for the raffle or for the auction, please reach out to Shannon and make that happen as quick as you can so that it gets there in time. Yep.
Or you can just come. It's warmer down here.
$20 to enter, you said, correct?
$20 entry fee for the competitors. Spectators are free.
Can a competitor enter multiple categories?
No, just with the exception of the craft whisker battle. No. So you can do the craft whisker battle and your respective category. But other than that, no.
Okay, perfect. Well, unless you have anything else for us, I want to thank you for your time tonight. You were a great guest.
Having me on.
Hopefully I was a good host. And I'll see you in a week.
All right, buddy. Y'all be careful in your travels.
Right,
see everybody next weekend.
Thank you. See you soon, brother.
All right, bye.
Well, that was the first under my belt. I hope everybody enjoyed what we had for you. I know it was typically a little bit shorter than this show typically goes. I was away last week, and this was my first one, so I had to put this together and make it happen on schedule, and that's what I had for you. I want to thank Kyle for giving me the opportunity to perpetuate this show for him in his absence. Please go to our Facebook page and our Facebook group if you're not already on it, Shape the Podcast. And if you haven't liked and subscribed the YouTube channel for Shape the Podcast, please do. Tell your friends about it. Share it with your friends. And if anybody has any topic ideas and guest ideas, guest suggestions for somebody to be on the show, we're here to talk about your mental health struggles and battles and the ways you've overcome them and grown from them. And we're all here to help each other. The Beard community is all about charity and all about helping each other. So it's a great family to have fallen into. I thank you all for your time. I thank you for watching, and hopefully it was as good for you as it was for me. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody.